So we are doing the Strike Team Diamond bounty, which I just got from the snitch who was hanging out near the water resupply point, about 120 meters away from the entrance to the Lincoln Memorial. So obviously you can find the snitch at multiple locations, but that's a good one to check if you're trying to locate him. I only got one exotic cache, which was kind of a disappointment. I'm hoping eventually Danny Weaver will sell exotic components caches instead of just exotic caches. Ooh, crap, we've got a freaking aerial recon. I better get inside this. I better get inside this compound before this thing spots me. That can make things very interesting. This is a good place to fight that drone. It's got a lot of cover, a lot of passageways, that are protected from above. You could fight it from right inside of here. You have good protection with these containers. Then you can jump into the that little area inside, forcing it to have to fly almost directly over you, where you then have a nice clean shot right at the motors on each rotor. But we're going to stay on target here, on mission, and wax these mother effers.
System reactivated.
I'm taking too much. Can't take.
For a little glimpse of this build I'm using, we've got the Pestilence as our primary. We've got the UIC 15 Mod 2 prototype as our secondary. As you can see, I upgraded this one to prototype. Got the headshot damage, 20 extra rounds, 30% stability, 30% accuracy. We've got the quick step, so I can move quickly from area to area. It's also good for evading. We have the Ninja Bike Messenger backpack, which, thanks to its talent, resourceful, slots in with any equipped gear set or brand set item to fulfill a requirement toward unlocking a gear set bonus. In other words, it counts as an additional gear piece for each brand, which is badass, because that means I get the 4-piece unlock for core strength. Even though there's only 3 equipped, I get a 2-piece unlock for Fox's Prayer Overlord armaments. I get a 2-piece unlock from Legatus Visionario. So that's giving me optimal range, 70%. Then I upgraded this one as well to prototype, which brought me to 75% optimal range, which I mentioned in the other video. So it's hooked up, I mean, 145, that's a considerable boost. Already with the, enhancements to the rifle and everything, it helps. I only get a little rifle damage out of the 2-piece on this, but the 30% accuracy is very, very important. The more accuracy, the better when you have that much range. Because it's great that you got all this range, but if you're not putting those rounds in a nice tight group, it doesn't matter, because you're not going to get the damage. So firing in bursts at distance is important with the LMG, and then with the rifle, 2 or 3 shot bursts is what I do. That's the way that I see, like that. you run it like that, you will see really good rifle damage, especially from the UIC, which is already a really robust rifle. Incredibly accurate rifle too. Just stock, it's an accurate rifle. So with all these extras on top, it really takes it to another level. And then of course, because of this the seasonal modifiers and the active modifiers and all that, you get the I believe it's accuracy and stability enhancement. I don't know what they're talking about with this special ammo that you buy with sample canisters, but I do not see any difference whatsoever between my normal weapon damage, because I ran out and I was playing on an escalation too, and it wasn't even, I mean, there was nothing. I couldn't see any difference really. Something to keep in mind. You don't really need that specialty ammo. I'm sure it was just a screw up, or they're trying to prevent players from, ripping it up too quickly in escalation. Because if you really had specialty ammo that was souping you up big time, you'd see a hell of a lot more performance than you're getting out of this crap now. So. He still hasn't locked onto us. But we could... I'm in a bad position. And that is why. Oh crap, I really hope that doesn't kill me. Almost. Look at this shit, it's going right through the tent. So these tents are obviously not worth anything other than concealment, but not cover. This has a hard surface above them. So I may be able to use this as cover.
Target spotted.
Yeah, he's already very bad on the board. Incoming. He's done.
I'm reloading.
Well, I imagine that would actually have drawn the enemy's attention. But fortunately, they don't seem to be onto my presence yet. So I will still have the element of surprise, which with these cluster grenades is really helpful. You double frag them with the cluster grenades across the area while the enemies are standing, and then just go straight to work with the LMG right onto the head of whichever named enemy has the most criticals. You do that, yeah. That throws them off balance pretty quickly. That's my method anyway. Hard and fast. Don't give them a second to breathe. Just focus on the high. Yeah, look at that. That's a good one. The weapon handling. Weapon handling is a very, very underrated attribute. You always want to keep the ones with high weapon handling, as it's giving you multiple advantages in a single thing: accuracy, stability, reload speed, and swap speed all together. And I didn't even know that until like a year or so ago. I thought it was just they're just referring to reload speed and maybe swap speed, but It's much more than that. Okay, so let's restock. Let's reset our skills. Because I do have Streamline, which was a mistake on this rifle, I should have upgraded a rifle with breadbasket. Streamline, because of this screw up with the cooldown thing, where it says only during cooldown does it not activate. Well, it doesn't work when the skill's active either, so basically 90% of the time it's useless as far as getting that, that special ability anyway. You can still use it and still get good damage, but not like the damage you're going to get, when you're using it. Should get up there. Yeah, not like the damage you're going to get when you have the Streamline active, getting that additional 40-something%. I think 42%. Now they're pretty far for an ambush. I need to get closer. See, this is where Quick Step becomes very useful. Look at that. Look at how fast I can move into position here. Oh. The only problem is sometimes it does not freaking switch back to another grenade as quickly as necessary.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Son of a fucking bitch. You gotta be kidding me.
Target down. Good job.
Where's that son of a bitch? There you are, you little...
I'm hit! Hit again!
God
Serious
damn,
trauma.
that one stung. A medic with a frickin' RPG, are you kidding me? No more frickin' drama. Sorry, sport. We'll attack from the unexpected direction. And then double back for that crap. Maybe not as unexpected as I hoped.
Where was the med pack?
I can't see that damn med station.
Turn him up, baby!
That's not good.
They're bleeding now!
Well, all this hubbub, I'm sure, has drawn the attention. No, did it? These guys look like they're a little bit alert.
Engaging hostile.
That's your target.
They're coming at me from that flank. This is a tricky situation here. I think I'm definitely from that guy here.
Medic over here.
Sniper. See, I don't have enough damage on the rifle when I'm using the skills.
You got the target. Nice.
This is something that's been a problem since the release of Streamline.
Looks like you earned
And they
yourself
still
another
haven't
bounty.
fixed it, so
Well
I don't
done.
know. I guess they thought it might be unfair if it was fixed. It would create too much imbalance. I don't know. I mean, everybody would use Streamline if that were the case. I mean, it just gives you a 42% weapon damage increase, so who the hell wouldn't use it, right? Kind of a bummer, but technically you'll get more damage from breadbasket. You're going to get that 55% increase per torso hit for your headshot, successive headshot damage. So all you have to do is use like the 1886, 3 shots of the chest and go for that headshot. That's a guaranteed kill on any global difficulty. The M1A is probably your second best as far as rifles go, damage-wise. 1886 lever action rifle is going to be, the shotgun level of damage for a rifle, but it has a small magazine and a very slow rate of fire. So that's the downside. Next one, the M1A, it's going to have about 500,000 if your rifle, levels are decent. But it has a slower rate of fire compared to the UIC-15 Mod 2 or the Mark 17 or the Police Mark 17 or any of those. Definitely compare the lightweight, that carbine. That, has a really fast rate of fire for a rifle, but also it has like 300,000 damage versus 500-something thousand for the M1A. After that is going to be the UIC-15 Mod 2. Not only because of the rate of fire being pretty decent, as you can see, but it's also about that accuracy. I mean, if you just saw that drilling that point. Look at that. That was 3 shots, and I have 1 clean hole. If I just leave it on, I'm not even touching the left stick or the right stick. Look at this. That's pretty nice, right? So that's how you're getting, I mean, it's really just horizontal recoil. So it's a really good option. After that, I would say the Mark 17 is probably the next best. And then after that, the lightweight, whatever it's called, lightweight M4, I think. But, the Armalite style rifle. That would be the next best. So everything else I think is popcorn. But those are going to be your high damage rifles. And then of course there's exotics. Ravenous being the best. especially going up into legendary, building up that extra damage and explosive effect. Um, and then probably yeah, the Vindicator. Yeah, so these, in my opinion, are the two best rifles for exotics. The Ravenous and the Vindicator. They will rip it up big time. With the Vindicator, it's kind of like playing during one of these events with targeted areas for increased damage. The scope will identify the vulnerable points on the enemy, and you just put your rounds there, and you're going to see a good amount of extra damage. So, that's all there is to it, really. Now let's see if we got anything good from the vendor. Wait. Cheetah. I guess Cheetah is somewhat combat practical. I only use skins that are realistic. Oh, the ACRSS is also a decent one with a good rate of fire, but nothing that incredible in my opinion. These are going to be your go-tos right here, these three. And then of course the 1886. Look at that, 1.12 million. Wait until you farm it until you get a damaged target out of cover. In conjunction with the Fox's Prayer, get a little more rifle damage and you'll get that extra 10% on top of that, so you're getting 20% damage target out of cover. Flipping Fox's Prayer was a huge mistake to prototype because it gave me nothing more than just another 2% to damage the target out of cover. So weak as hell. Stupid move. I don't know what the hell is going on with them, but it does not increase the weapon damage at all. You're still at 15% weapon damage. So, Fox's Prayer, the only benefit you're getting is your augment. And, again, unless you've donated a lot of prototype cores to upgrading it to the max, you're not really going to see that big of a difference, with the exception to the random status effect and the grenade one. Those are the two that I think you're actually going to see a good gameplay performance difference right from the jump. Maybe with one or two upgrades on it, nothing crazy, but they're the ones that I go for. As you can see, we already have that beacon. We need to break down as much stuff as possible. And because I'm at level 30, I don't donate anything anymore. Even unless there's a specific item I'm trying to bring up to expertise, then I can just donate, resources to get it there specifically. But let's see what else we got. See, right now is the triple event, so get a lot of XP, a lot of resources, a lot of caches. No cool skins though for this, and I definitely need this optimization cache. Need as much recon data and shade calibrations as I can get, because they are a definite cost to getting everything up to level 30 when you're trying to flip it. So it's pretty expensive. That's the biggest downside about bringing something up to level 30 so you can do that. It's just the cost, man, it's just insane. Yeah, the weapon handling one is better. We're going to keep that. I mean, I guess with this, with an item that isn't maxed, you could select it and donate it, but it doesn't, I don't think it really matters. But yeah, anyway, just I did a few escalations before, and I got a good number of things. I got like 4 prototype cores out of it because I just kept breaking everything down as I went, which was good. But again, it was only level 2 escalation, so it wasn't any really incredible stuff. Today, Monday, the 20th of July, knee pads are the targeted loot for the Lincoln Memorial, so I would run that at least once. Apart from that, this can be useful if you like sniper builds. 511 at Capital, I wouldn't waste my time on that unless you just want the resources to break down for cores. That's the one I would go for. And also, we have Eminence Armaments, another place to just get items for. There's not a lot of enemies in that one though, so, and not a lot of gear crates to pop along the way. So, I don't recommend any missions where there's not a really good amount. Like I did the Jefferson Trade Center. I think that's still, or Jefferson Plaza. I'm sorry. And there's like no gear crates at all. There's none. I think there's 2 in the entire the entire map. So the entire mission. I wouldn't waste time farming on that unless it's really just for aces and eights. Obviously once you run through it until the next day, it's not going to reset all the loot crates. So keep that in mind. Yeah, good luck out there.